Hi, I'm Ree from mummyof4.com. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are looking at where to start with getting your life organised. Now, I have been there where I felt so disorganised. The house was on top of me. I was missing notes from my child's school. I just felt like I was drowning in a sea of disorganised chaos, and quite frankly, it was driving me mad. Then little by little, I started implementing things to feel like I was taking back control of my life, and now I have 4 children and really no choice other than to be organised, especially since 2 of them have additional needs, and if I'm not super organised, the days can fall apart pretty quickly. So today I'm going to share with you exactly where you can start with getting organised and probably get there a lot quicker than I did. So before we dive into it, I just want to say if you're new here, welcome. I would love it if you would subscribe and hit that bell to be notified whenever I post new videos. I do loads of organisation content as well as vlogs, shop with me's, hauls, feed cleans, all that kind of thing. I hope you will love it. So where to start with getting organised? The very first thing that I would like you to do is visualise something for me. I know, but stick with me. I would like you to visualise your life as you would like it to be. So what is it like when you get up in the morning? Are you flustered and chaotic, or is it nice and calm? Do you wake up easily feeling refreshed, whereas perhaps you were feeling a bit stressed before? Does your morning go nice and smoothly, being able to find things, get your children to school on time? What does your work day look like? What does your home look like? Then at the end of the day, how does all of that go? What does your ideal routine look like? And I want you ideally to take a pen and paper. Now, not many of you will do this, so let me know in the comments if you actually do it. But take a pen and a piece of paper and write it out the old-fashioned way, exactly how you would like your day to look, ideally. And that is step 1. That is what we're going to be working towards with all these little incremental changes. Now it's time to assess the mess. What is going on in your life where you're feeling disorganized? What feels out of control? And we need a list of the things that make you feel disorganized, out of control, and quite frankly, really stressed. So on that same piece of paper, flip it over, take your pen, and write out all the things as you go through your day that are stressing you out. Maybe it's not as easy to get up as you might like. Perhaps you can't find everything you need in the mornings and that's really stressful. Are you missing notes from your child's school and you feel really guilty when they're missing a uniform day or a trip, or you haven't sent money in for something? Trust me, been there. The mum guilt from that is intense. Are you stressed out about homework? Are you stressed out about housework? Or is it your job work? Where are the areas in your house where you're feeling disorganized and out of control? Jot them all down so that we know what we're dealing with. So this second list is all of the things that are standing in the way of that ideal day that we visualized at the beginning. Now we know what we have to tackle, the problem areas, the places where we're not feeling as organised as we might like to, and we know what to tackle. And now it's time to prioritise, because that list, if you're anything like I was when I was feeling at my least organised, is probably quite a long list. And the idea that we can tackle it all at once is just setting us up to fail, because no one can do all of that all at once. So making these little incremental upgrades to various places in your life and just getting organised in small ways in different areas will help you to feel more organised and in control overall. So how are we going to prioritise this? If this is a nice long list, how do we know what to do first? We're going to use something called the Eisenhower matrix. We're going to need another blank sheet of paper. I want you to draw a grid which forms 4 boxes. At the top, we're writing urgent and non-urgent, and down the side, we are writing important and not important. Next, we take that big long list of things that we feel are really out of control and stressing us out, the places we're least organised. And we're going to copy this list into our Eisenhower matrix. So the areas that are stressing you out the most need to go in urgent and important. These are the things that are really driving you potty. So maybe it is the state of a certain room in your house. Maybe it is meal times and meal planning. Maybe it's your morning routine. Whichever area of your life is causing you to be least organised and most stressed, that goes in urgent and important. Some things might be urgent but not really important. They go in this box. Then not urgent things but important things over here. and then not urgent and not important things in this bottom box. So all the items that are urgent and important, we're going to tackle those first. That is the place we're going to start with getting organised. Next on our list will be the things that are not especially urgent but are important. Those are the things we're going to decide to do after we've finished our first list. Then the items on your list that are urgent but not super important, these are the things that you need to delegate. We'll talk a little bit more about this in a second. And then if it's not urgent and not important, we're just going to cross it off the list for now. In the future, when we're feeling super organised in every other area of our lives, maybe we'll readdress these bits. But for now, we're not even going to think about them, because often having too much on our cognitive loads can really stress us out and end up making us just kind of give up on a project before we've even begun. Next, we're going to declutter for the win, and we're going to do this in a few areas of our lives. The first place we're going to declutter is the mind. We're going to do this in a few ways. So like I just mentioned, having too much on our cognitive load can really stress us out. It can mean you're losing sleep. It can mean you're just constantly feeling sort of on edge and stressed because you're trying to hold too much in your head. It's just not natural. Even if you've got an amazing memory, why should you have to hold all of that information in your head constantly when we have other places we can store it? So we can use a few different ways to clear our mental load and keep us organised without having to just hold it all front of mind and feel really like, I'm going to forget something all the time. I'm going to gloss over these, or this would be a really, really long video. But if you want a more in-depth video on any of these points, let me know and I will make that video going into a lot more detail. But we can use calendars. I strongly suggest that you use digital calendars like Apple calendars or Google calendars that can be synchronized with other friends and family members or with work. And everything goes in the calendar, everything. School drop-offs, school pickups, clubs, meal times, everything. Because as soon as you can see what is in your calendar, you can see where you have spaces to fit in other things. And those can be fun social things as well as boring, let's get organised things. Like I said, I could talk about calendars and calendar blocking and time blocking for ages and ages. Let me know if you want to see that video. Next thing you can use to declutter your mind is reminders. And I'm talking about a reminders app. I just use the reminders app in my iPhone. It syncs with my computer and my phone. I can actually set up family reminders as well, so that other things like the bins needing to go out or whatever can be shared responsibilities. We'll talk a bit more about that in a second. But knowing you've got a reminder in your phone can help to get it out of your mind, and you can just relax knowing you're not going to forget about it. That is the key, I think, to decluttering in your mind, knowing that that information is stored somewhere else. You don't have to hold it all in here, really stressing yourself out so it's not all jumbled up. It's somewhere, it's safe, it's organised. Those things, those appointments, those reminders are there for you and you're not going to forget them. You can use an organisation station like I have in my kitchen, where you can put everything for all the family to see. I use this for meal planning, shopping lists, upcoming events, that kind of thing. Kind of an at-a-glance place to keep information. If you would like to create your own organisation station, you can grab the printables, which I have linked below. All the frames and things are in there and exactly how to set it up. And then the other thing, of course, we have to declutter, and this is a massive topic, so I'm just going to touch on it briefly now, but let me know if you want me to talk about it more in the future, is we're going to declutter all the negativity from our minds, all the I can't do this, I'm just not a tidy person, I'm just not an organised person. All that has got to go and got to be decluttered, because we are reframing our minds and becoming super calm and organised people. Now, exactly how to declutter your mind of all this negativity and feel more in control, like I said, massive topic all of its own, but we could always talk about that again. Next thing to declutter, our days. What is going on in your day that you don't need to be doing? Are there things that you can cut out to make life easier? So if you're currently going to the supermarket to do all the grocery shopping, could you get it delivered? Save yourself the time driving there and back. Do a couple of loads of laundry and a little bit of cleaning in the time you would be driving back and forth, and done. You've saved yourself some time. Are there systems you could put in place to lick up things you're doing at work? Where are you spending dead time where you don't need to be spending that time? Have a look at how you can declutter your day, cut back on what you're doing. Maybe even, do your children need to do activities every single night of the week? If that is too much for you, it is okay to cut back on some of those things. Next thing I need you to do is get your family on board. Need to have a little chat. I need to do this with my family every now and again, periodically, and say, do you know what, guys? Mummy is struggling and mummy cannot do all of this by herself. And it is not just my responsibility to keep our home clean and organised. It is a group effort. So by getting your family on board with whatever you feel you want to organise, maybe it is helping with cleaning and tidying around the house, maybe it's putting their own laundry away, maybe it is help with cooking or meal planning, maybe it's just putting their dirty socks in the washing bin rather than throwing them on the floor where they took them off. Or maybe it's using a new calendar system you're implementing. Whatever it may be, get your family on board and it's going to make your life much easier. Next, you need to create a laundry system. Now I talk about laundry a lot. Why is it that I talk about laundry so much? It's because we can't get away from it. It's the kind of thing that we are all stuck with doing. And if we ignore it, it just builds up and builds up and builds up until it overwhelms us to the point where the overwhelm feels utterly crippling. Trust me, I know. I've been there. So the reason I talk about laundry so much, the reason I remind people on Instagram stories to go and put a load on is because I know I have been there where I have been regretting my life choices to allow it to build up, and then I have to tackle the laundry monster that is taking over my house. No one wants to be there. It's not fun. So create a system. I have got lots of videos I shall link all about my laundry routines, tips and hacks and things. Again, massive topic I'm not going to deep dive into here, but if you want more laundry tips, I will make some more videos of those because I have so many. But develop a system. Make sure you stick that on your list. Get organised with your kids' stuff. So this can be things like your children's uniform that we organise on the weekends for the week. All your children's notes and things from your teachers, making sure you're logged into all the homework apps and the communicating with the teacher stuff. There is a lot more of that now since COVID. There's a lot less paper and a lot more electronic stuff, which is easier to keep track of. Your children's clubs and things, get all those on a calendar. Now I have got videos all about getting organised for back to school, so I suggest you check those out. But you need to tackle all the kids stuff that is making you feel overwhelmed, because trust me, that is a bit of a full-time job all by itself, isn't it? Just organising all your children's birthday parties and activities and all those kind of things. So make sure you check out that video because that should really help you organise that area of your life. You need to get organised when it comes to food and meal planning, because again, this is something that can be super overwhelming, where you've run out of things, where you're throwing out food that hasn't been used, or where you just get to 5 o'clock and you think, I just don't know what to make for dinner, and it's really, really stressful. So by getting organised with your meal planning, with your grocery shopping, this will really help just feel like that area of your life is a little bit less stressful. Again, I have got a meal planning video and a blog post, which I shall link. So check out those videos to tackle that little problem area where it can be difficult to organise. Next, I'm going to urge you to get help where you need it. In whichever area of your life you need help, it is okay to ask for help. Now, this is something that I've always struggled with. I've always had this weird idea that if I do it all myself, I'm failing. Quite frankly, it's ridiculous. So whichever area you're struggling with, get help even if it's for a short time. So if that means you get a cleaner every now and again to help you catch up on the housework, great. If it's involving your family with jobs around the house, wonderful. If you're relying on friends or family to babysit your children sometimes so you can get on with things, or share lifts to clubs, all the chaotic stuff that comes with parenting your children, then do it. It is okay to ask for help. It is not natural for us to have to do all this by ourselves. They say it takes a village, and it really does. And if you don't have a village, it is okay to hire some members of a village. Things like cleaners, tutors, anything like that. If you need it and you can afford it, do not feel guilty about doing it. Next one's also a bit difficult. You need to learn to say no to things, and for that to be okay. So if you've got too much on your schedule, it is okay to turn things down. You don't have to help out at every single PTA thing if you can't fit it in. You are allowed to say no to meeting people if you just can't fit it in, or if you just don't have the mental headspace for it. Saying no is okay, and by saying no to the things that are filling up your time, you're going to leave more space, more breathing space for a bit more downtime, a bit more time for fitting in all the things you're supposed to fit in, because we all have the same amount of hours in the day, true, but how we use those hours, the amount we attempt to cram into them, the more you attempt to cram in, the less organised you're going to feel, because you're just going to have less time to complete the task. So you need to be realistic with how much time you've actually got. Cut out some stuff that you need to say no to and actually say no to it, So you've got the time to do the things you genuinely have to or want to do. Find your motivation for being organised. For me, the motivation for being organised is what we talked about at the beginning of this video. I picture how I want my life to be, feeling calm, and yeah, there's laundry, but I'm kind of on top of it. And okay, the house isn't immaculate, but it's reasonably presentable, clean and tidy. It makes me feel calm and in control and less like I'm kind of spiraling when things are reasonably sorted, organised and under control. So by clinging on to this feeling, that will give you the motivation to take the steps to do the things that need to be done. So whether that is decluttering a room, doing a load of the dishwasher you really can't be bothered to do. So doing things like your accounts and your taxes regularly, okay, that's something I do procrastinate and have to do in large chunks because it's not much fun. But by doing those things and keeping on top of them, your life will feel more organised. And you need to be kind to yourself because the reality of it is nobody has it all together. I don't have it all together, you don't have it all together. The woman on Instagram who appears to have it all together does not have it all together. Nobody has it all together. Anyone that tells you they do is lying to you. So we can have it more together, we can get our lives more together than they currently are, which is great, that's what we're aiming for. But don't beat yourself up if there are still some places you're feeling a little bit out of control. Just keep taking those little baby steps, make improvements where you can, and count your wins, but don't beat yourself up if you're not quite there. And the next thing you're going to need to do is to implement daily habits, things that you do every single day to keep on top of being organised. Now those things I'm sharing in this video up here. So that is the one that you want to watch next. Thank you so much. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified whenever I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. New videos, including that one about habits, are all around me. I shall see you guys very soon. Bye.